For a long time, One Piece has stood at the top of the manga and anime world, with its cast of colorful characters, unique world, and an unbound sense of adventure. It's no wonder it is loved by so many. But nothing, no matter how adored, is without haters. And for many years, I was one of them. As a big fan of pirates in media, I was sure that I would enjoy Oda Eiichiro's epic adventure. But after reading it for many years, I gave up somewhere in the middle of Alabasta. It was then that I realized that I kinda hated it. I tried to enjoy it, I really did, reading every chapter with the hope that my opinion would change, but it never did. And so, for the better part of a decade, I decreed that One Piece was garbage, and nothing would change my mind. Fast forward to the 2020s, and I have changed a lot since that initial reading. I used to prefer the typical shonen battle series, reading and watching those almost 10 to 1 over more lighthearted and funny series. Now, while I still enjoy darker stories, it's basically reversed with a noticeable favor for slice of life and comedy. With these new tastes in mind, I decided to finally give One Piece another try, though I was still unsure if my opinion would change. A few days after I started reading it again, I completed the East Blue, and as the Straw Hats made their way into the Grand Line, I had only one thought. This is good. Almost all of my opinions had been completely reversed. In a matter of days, I had packed up and abandoned the hill I once thought I would die on. I really didn't appreciate Oda-sensei's storytelling the first time through. Back during my first read, I was probably just waiting for the next big fight and didn't care about what came between, so I definitely missed out on a lot of the nuances and world building. Having heard that he foreshadows things way in advance, I paid much closer attention this time and felt rewarded for it. Now what seemed like disparate stories linked as recruitment missions felt like an actual saga. It wasn't just about getting a crew together, it was about fleshing out the characters and defining what the Straw Hat Pirates really are. Family. From the moment Luffy meets Zoro, it's clear that the linking thread in this saga is trust. Despite his situation, Zoro trusts that Axe-Hand Morgan will honor their deal.
A horrible decision.
When he learns the truth, instead of getting all mopey, he decides to put his faith in Luffy instead, and is rewarded with the chance to live and fulfill his dream of becoming the world's greatest swordsman. This does triple duty. First, showing that the Navy and world government by extension are corrupt. Second, that Luffy, while naive, has a gift for gaining trust. And lastly, it tells us that the Straw Hat Pirates will share one major thing in common. They don't just want to survive, they want to live. And there is one member from the East Blue that exemplifies that beautifully. Nami. While Luffy may be the main character and captain, Nami is the most important character in that first saga. Not only would they quite literally be lost without her, her arc takes the longest to develop and hits the hardest crescendo. When she first meets Luffy and Zoro, she hates pirates and puts up a strong wall between her and them. She is quick to betray them for her own gain. They are just selfish pirates after all. But when she sees them fight Buggy and his crew for the sake of a town and people they don't even know, the first cracks form in her defenses. If Nami is a character that can't trust, Usopp is a character that can't be trusted. This is immediately shown to us with his long nose reflecting Pinocchio and antics around town. After a few chapters, we and the Straw Hats come to see that he may be a liar, but he has a big heart and cares for his home. In a fun pirate-themed homage to The Boy Who Cried Wolf, we see that Usopp is actually worthy of trust. He just has a few things he needs to work through first. And seeing what Usopp is willing to do, how far he's willing to go for his town, causes another crack in Nami's armor. Trust is important to a chef, A kitchen can't work without some degree of trust, so it should come as no surprise that Sanji is a perfect fit for the Straw Hats. But his recruitment arc isn't about trust as much as it's about the difference between surviving and living. Sanji has a dream he wants to fulfill, but he stays at Baratier because he thinks he owes his life to Zeph. All it will take for him to leave is being kicked out, even though he really wants to go live out his dream of finding the All Blue. Seeing someone so devoted to the man that raised him even though they weren't related, Nami reaches her breaking point. For what has to have been the better part of weeks with these people, seeing them risk their lives and put trust in each other, Nami has come dangerously close to caring about them. So she did what any good thief would do, stole their money and ran. When they finally catch up to her and discover the situation she and her hometown are in, they try to help, but she refuses and pushes them away. Until now, Nami was always the outlier of the group, keeping the others at arm's length and insisting she wasn't one of them, even though that's what she really wanted. But that's where she was wrong. She was part of the crew. She is part of the crew. And Luffy never abandons his crew. Finally, the wall she had put up between herself and the rest of the world comes crumbling down, and she does something that she had come to fear. And she is rewarded in spectacular fashion. This opening saga is truly something special, and I'm a bit bummed it took me so long to see it. Every one of these weirdos has something to live for. Zoro wants to be the world's greatest swordsman. Usopp wants to become a great warrior of the sea. Sanji wants to find the All Blue, and Nami wants to make a map of the entire world. And all of them can achieve their dreams and truly live because they put their trust in each other and the man who will be king of the pirates. No one knows what will happen when One Piece finally ends, but there are high expectations for this amazing pirate odyssey. Regardless of how it all turns out when it wraps up in, probably another decade, we can find solace in the excellent ride it has been thus far. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I have never been happier to have been wrong.